Hey, JK here. I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me.
Y'all ready for this?
Ladies and gentlemen, week 18 is here. It's past, but the recap is here. It's coming late, so Thursday night, hopefully I'll get this done before 10 o'clock. But the point is, better late than never. We're going to be talking about week 18 because we only have a few weeks left. 4 weeks in most fantasy baseball seasons. Then we get to the playoffs, and that's the exciting part, right? Because like I've said before, for years and years I've been doing this. Once you get to the playoffs, anything is possible. So we're gonna go ahead, talk about the recaps, talk about people you should add, but we're also gonna hit on the trade deadline. There were a few of my guys that were traded, so they're gonna be wearing different hats and jerseys and potentially numbers, who knows, in these last few weeks. But then looking forward to next year, I mean, I'm not going to do that necessarily in this video, but looking forward to next year, where they're going to be. Obviously, the Dodgers made their big move with Mr. Skubal, but what the world is going on with some of these teams making big moves at the deadline? The moves they made were not big moves, despite needing to make big moves, and then some teams not making moves at all. But again, digressing, getting to the recaps. First team we're going to start with is the Peach Creek Purgatory. We were able to come out on top this past week, 920 to 752. Our top scorer is Mr. Matt Olson with 63 points, followed by Otto Lopez with 59, Trey Turner with 58, and then Mr. George Springer with 55. Our top scoring pitcher was Mr. Max Fried, Mr. Yankee, with 40 points. On the other side, there were a few guys who only started a handful of games, but did not do much of anything for me. Between Nolan Arenado, Eugenio Suarez, Tristan Peters, and Victor Caratini, 0 for 15, like 2 runs, an RBI here, maybe a walk, very few, if any, points. Then we get to Dean Kramer. He got me -5 points in his last start with the Orioles. He's now with the Twins, and surprise, surprise, he did a little better against the Royals yesterday for me. He got 14 points, so nothing crazy, but again, it was positive. Better than Freddie Peralta in any case. We did overall pretty decent this past week. No one really did poorly. We didn't have a ton of guys really, just bomb for us. So again, the worst was Mr. Dean Kramer. The only add or drop for this week was Tristan Peters. We dropped him to activate Mr. Corey Seager, who's healthy. Finally, I don't know. He's probably going to go on the IL again at some point in time. After the win this week, we got to 15-2, and that put us back in second place because the person who was in second place, because he had more points than me, he got lucky that one week and doubled my score, lost. So we are number 2. This week we're playing number 4, who is one of the 2 remaining playoff teams I'm going to face. And man, tonight he's got Christopher Sanchez. We know how that's going to go. He's going to do well. So I'm just hoping that between Clay Holmes and maybe trying to get my boy Blake Snell in just maybe Sunday instead of Monday, Tuesday, we got to pick a few more guys up because he has some really good pitchers. I have hurt pitchers. But again, back in second place, we're looking good. 4 weeks left. Let's finish strong, guys. The next team we're talking about is the Russell Matt Jim Jams team. And unfortunately, this week we lost 5 categories, 9 categories to 2 categories. But we maintained our second place overall, so I'm not happy we lost. So the worst part about that is we were so close to picking up 2 more categories. Andy Pages got 3 RBIs, which tied the guy with us, and that's unfortunate because daggone it, we were leading in that one. And then freaking strikeouts. We were too short, and if Kaiser Montero, who I'm very happy we were able to pick up in another league because he saved us, only had 2 strikeouts, so dang. Darn it, man, we could have, should have had more, but it's all good, whatever. Our top performers did include Mr. Brandon Nimmo with 4 extra base hits, Dalen Lyle and Hunter Goodman with 2 home runs each, Gabriel Marino with 6 RBIs, and Otto Lopez with 3 stolen bases. We had a win and 11 strikeouts from Mr. Christopher Sanchez. Let's not have 11 strikeouts tonight, as much as I would really love it anywhere else except this specific spot because I'm going against it. We also had wins from Kevin Gausman, finally getting back in the win column, and Kaiser Montero, along with relievers Yogesh Gomez and Garrett Clevenger. On the other side, we had a handful of guys who absolutely bombed this past week. They all had at least 11 at-bats, and 3 games started, so it's not like it was one game, it's like, oh, you're so bad. But they produced very little, if anything, for me. Between Taylor Ward, CJ Abrams, Gabriel Marino, Mr. Helio Ramos, Mauricio Dubon, Wilson Contreras, and Mickey Moniak, they win 18 for 126. Oh, that equals to a 142 batting average. Whoa. On the pitching side, Michael McGreevy got clapped for 7 earned runs over 1 2/3 of an inning. You can go ahead and look at the adds drops there, but we're going to talk about this week. We were not falling from second place, but third place, they were able to close the gap. Well, I think it's like 2.5, 3.5 games. We're still in good shape, and I'm pretty excited about it because we lost and we didn't lose any spots. But this week we're going against number 1. I'm frustrated because, crap, coming off a bad week, how's it going to look? But I'm kind of excited because maybe we could take over first. I'm not getting crazy. Just knocked on wood, which is my desk, but dang, man. Hopefully we have a good showing. I'm not going to say how we are since it's already Thursday, but I'm going to say I'm looking forward to finishing this week and seeing where we are to reevaluate the next 3 weeks, because we do have the trade deadline coming up in a few other leagues as well as this one. We also have adds and drops we have to make. We have people coming off of the IL, so lots of spots, lots of decisions, and lots of progress to make in the next 3 to 4 weeks. The next team we're talking about is the South Harmon Institute of Technology. This week was a nail biter. We're going against number 1 team over in the other division, and because we're second, that means the other guy who's in first in the other division is first overall. So I'm thinking, oh man, I'm going to lose some spots because I didn't do great last week. So, what is happening? But we were able to pull it out. 9 categories to 7 categories to 2 categories. So, there we go. Our top performer was Mr. Matt Olson with 20 total bases, 4 home runs, and 6 RBIs. You mean to tell me you hit 4 solo home runs, dude? Braves, get on base. Albie, Riley, Acuna, Mauricio Dubon. What are y'all doing? Get on base so Olson can bring you in. Salvador Perez had 14 total bases. Nothing other than that, nothing sexy, just 14 total bases, which is good for him. Dalen Lyle had 2 home runs and 13 total bases, so that's pretty good. Then we had 11 total bases from Mr. Bryce Terang, Jack Caglianone, and Freddie Freeman, so that's good. Christian Sanchez, again, 1 win, 11 strikeouts. But on the other side, we were chasing wins with Landon Roop and Kumar Rocker, and we're not able to get them. And we could have had that. Well, it would have been 2 more category shorts, potentially up to 4. But thanks to freaking Paul Sewald, Brandon Paft was in line for the win. Then Mr. Paul Sewald came in and blew it all up. In a matter of 1/3 of an inning between 2 games, he gave up 8 earned runs. What? So you blew a save, you got me the loss, you messed up my ERA, you messed up my whip, and you cost Brandon Paft to win. I'm not mad. I'm just thoroughly disappointed and fed up with Diamondbacks pitchers. I was also upset we had slow weeks from Taylor Ward, which that's not really a surprise at this point in time. He was traded to a worse place to hit home runs. Cool. CJ Abrams, and then also my man Xavier Edwards, all of them had very unproductive weeks, so that stinks. Let's move to the adds and drops. You can take a look at them, but there were actually really only 2 I wanted to talk about. We were able to pick up Garrett Crochet. I know it's Garrett Crochet. He is not available for probably the rest of the year for the Red Sox, but this is a keeper league, so I'm gonna keep him. Also, Cody Bellinger, someone dropped him, and he's supposed to be coming back maybe, mid-August, and it's just about getting ready to be mid-August, so I will not be upset to have another Yankee in my lineup, even though I'm really not fond of Yankees in my lineup unless they are Aaron Judge. But in any case, I don't think I've ever had him on any of my teams. In any case, so the adds and drops, they were kind of all over the place. Chasing wins, that stinks. But overall, the win this week did cost the other guy first place, and now we're tied with first. We have the exact same records, so we'll see how this goes. Shifting away from ESPN to Yahoo leagues, we're going to go ahead and start with the Cheese Weasels, our only Roto league, and this week we are in 5th place with 91 points. So very similar to last year, we're hovering around 90 to 95 points. It's frustrating, but there is some promise, something to look forward to for this upcoming week, because we did take over another category, so That's good. But now we're going to do exactly what we do every week. Tell you about the home runs, wins, losses, all the good stuff. So we had 1 home run each from Yordan Alvarez and Jake McCarthy. And we had 2 home runs each from Trey Turner, Royce Lewis. Yep, we picked up Royce Lewis. I don't know how long that's going to last, but we'll ride the hot streak. And the new Yankee, Mr. Luis Garcia. I think one of them was with the Yankees, the other one was with the Nationals, but I'll tell you, right? We had wins from Mr. Hunter Brown, Mr. Logan Webb, and 2 from Emilio Pagan. Mr. Kevin Kelly had 2 holes for us. Moving over to saves, Mr. Emilio Pagan also had a save for us, along with Jacob Latz, and 2 from Devin Williams. Crazy. On the other side, we had a loss from Mr. Griffin Jacks. I was going against him Sunday, and I was like, look, if he's going to burn me in one league, he's going to help me in another league. I ended up getting a little bit of both. We had blown saves from Mr. Alex Lang and Paul Sewald. So sick of Paul Sewald and Alex Lane, to be honest with you. Then we had 2 really short starts from Mr. Zach Wheeler. That stinks. One was because he let up a few earned runs, had like a 15 ERA, and the other one because it was rain short. So, as roster pretty short, we added Griffin Jacks and Royce Lewis and dropped Paul Sewald. Next team we're talking about is the Cucumbas, where this week was my second overall loss for the year. So again, still not bad. 2 losses on the year, and we're still in first by 2.5 games, so that's pretty cool. We lost 1-8. That stinks, and I wish I would have been paying attention, but I don't know. There's a lot going on this past week. We lost by 4 strikeouts and .04 whip. Paul Sewald, can't stand you. You ruined it in multiple leagues. Despite the loss, we did have a few guys perform really well this week, including Mr. Sal Stewart with 3 home runs and 9 RBIs. We had 2 home runs from Daylen Lyle and 1 each from Mr. Yandy Diaz, Mr. Jake McCarthy, and then Dylan Dingler, Dingleberry. On the pitching side, we had 1 win and 11 strikeouts from Mr. Christopher Sanchez and 1 win and 4 strikeouts from Logan Webb. 4? Really? Come on, man. We did have 4 saves from Mr. David Bednar, so that was good. On the other side, we had batting averages below 200 from Mr. Taylor Ward, Ernie Clement, Brandon Marsh, Jake McCarthy, and a .056 from Riley Green. Woof. And pitching-wise, we did have subpar starts from Mr. Trey Skubal and Jason Schauber and Brian Wu, but none were as bad as Mr. Paul Sewald. What were you doing? As the drops were pretty short, we added Robert Gasser and Brandon Garcia, who's going to be hopefully taking over as the new closer for the D-backs, and dropped AJ Smith-Shawver and Mr. Robert Gasser. And the last team we're talking about is the Ken Murphy Dingers. Now, this league is you win or you lose. That's it. There's no way to salvage it. I mean, I guess you could tie, but the thing is, if you don't win the majority of the categories, you lose. So I was losing. The guy started out with Francisco Lindor, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs. I'm like, oh, that's not good. He had Griffin Jacks, 10 strikeouts and a win to start the week. I'm like, oh my gosh. So it was not looking good. So I was just moseying along, trying to figure out throughout the week, like, even if I lose, I'm still number 1 in my side of the division, or it could be a tie. I'm still playoff bound if I lose. So I'm not happy about it, but it's not the worst thing in the world. The last few matchups have a few easier ones, a few tougher ones. But again, I still feel good enough to at least, like, okay, I can drop 1. Well, then a big Saturday hit, and I became like arm's length reach away from grabbing more categories and the win. And that's what happened. Thanks to Kyer Montero. He was stellar Sunday. And the best part was, we picked him up off waivers. Now, it gets better. The person who released him after his subpar start, I think it was Tuesday, he had like an 8.31 ERA and only went like 3 1/3 innings, something like that. The person that I ended up beating released him. I picked him up for the Sunday start. Great game against, I think it was the Athletics. And it got me the win, which got me the overall win, 5 categories to 4 categories. What? That was crazy. Oh, Kyer Montero, my man. Other than Kyer Montero coming up clutch for us, we had 4 home runs and 6 RBIs from Mr. Matt Olson. We had 2 home runs each from Daylen Lyle, Kevin McGonigal, and my man, Hunter Goodwin. McGonigal had 6 RBIs as well, so that's pretty good. We also had 7 RBIs from Bryce Turing. Outside of the usual win from Mr. Christopher Sanchez and the clutch win from Mr. Carter Montero to get us that category, we had 3 other wins from Mr. Logan Webb and Emilio Pagan. On the other side, here's some news. Christian Yelich is still dead weight this year. Nick Kurtz is hurt again. Alec Burleson had us 1 run this week, and Mr. Raleigh Green had a .056 batting average. Cool. We also had some really bad starts from Tatsu Amai. I don't know why I picked him up. I thought the Angels would be a good matchup. That's why I picked him up. I was trying to be like, okay, let's be smart about it. Nope. Was not smart about it. Hunter Green hurt again. Going to look at his elbow. Come on, dude. You're like my ace in the hole. I was going to have you and you're going to ride me to the championship. Pause. That's kind of weird to say. We also had Brian Wu giving up runs and Michael McGreevy getting clapped like we talked about before. So very bad starts. But again, none were as bad as Paul Sewald. Yep, I had him. Fudge. How did I still win? I don't know how I did win, but I'm glad I won. And again, you can take a look at the average drops right there, but we did not have a bigger one than Mr. Carter Montero. Oh, and again, just made it sweeter that the person I beat was the person that let him go in the first place. Oh, that's so good. Now they're done with the recaps. Let's talk about the trades and how they impacted people I think you should be looking at. First of all, I was wrong about Mason Miller. I said for you to go out and pick up Adrian Morejon if you had the opportunity. If you're in a holds league, pick him up anyway. Because Jason Adam was on the 60-day DL as of this morning, so he gone for a little bit longer. So Morejon is still the main guy there in the Patty Daddy bullpen. Keep with the closers. Jeff Hoffman went from the Blow Jays to the Twins. So while you had Yoenis Gomez as the closer, I don't know if he's going to say the closer or if they're going to work back and forth, because it's not like Hoffman is like perfect, okay? He still has like an almost 4 ERA. Let's not forget how terrible he was to give the position to Louis Varland, okay? Not Gus Varland, who is Louis' brother, but Louis Varland, who, where was Louis Varland before this? The freaking Twins. Yeah, it all comes full circle. But Kramer is with the Twins. Hoffman is with the Twins. And Yoenis Gomez is still there. If nothing else, keep him as a holds guy. Another closer, or several closers that moved, were to the Pirates. None of them are really spectacular, to be honest with you. However, kind of disappointed today. They used Gregory Soto in like the 4th inning or 5th inning. Braxton Ashcraft really wasn't doing well. The guys he picked up that could very well challenge Soto for his spot include Camilo Doval, which actually I don't think he's going to do that because he's so erratic, which I thought was hilarious. He gave up a home run in his debut appearance for the Pirates. Luke Weaver, who that could be the person to actually take over. I think if there's anyone who's going to take over, it's him. However, I was reading his peripherals aren't as great as like 1.8 ERA looks. He was great for us like 2 or 3 years ago. Then like forgot how to pitch, but it is what it is. I'm hoping Soto stays in there, and I know they picked up at least one more guy. They picked up 3. They pulled the Yankees of last year. They picked up like 3 guys who had been closers before to shore up that bullpen, but none of them are really sexy. They got rid of Dennis Santana, so hopefully Gregory Soto stays there because he's been decent. He got 13, 14 saves so far. We now have to look at who in the world is closing for the Giants because Caleb Killian got blown up in his first appearance with the Phillies. So is it Keaton Wynn? Is it Ryan Walker again? I don't know. But we also do know it's not going to be Paul Sewald in the desert. It is going to be a mix and mash person, but I'm hoping it's Brandon Garcia because I picked him up in a few of my leagues. The last place I want to look for closers, which again, this is strictly only if you're desperate. Colorado. Why are we looking Colorado? Because they got rid of all the competition for Jordan Romano. They got rid of Victor Vodnik, which sounds like a bad guy. They got rid of Antonio Senzatella, not Zenzatella. There's a Z in there. So it is Jordan Romano's job to lose. But I'm knocking on wood because he's been doing well. I'm not gonna say it's a resurgence, but he's been doing well. I think he gave up his first run in his like last 9 or so appearances, so he's been doing much better. Maybe it's just there's so little pressure there because not really many people expect anything, especially because it's like a 3rd or 4th team in this year. So lots happening there. Now let's go to the starting pitchers. We already talked about Dean Kramer. I think he could do a little better. Now, I didn't mind where he was with the Orioles, but now that he's with the Twins, he gets to mix and match with the Indians here and there, so I don't mind that. Clay Holmes on the move, Kevin Gausman on the move. So those two guys, I think they might get a little better. Yeah, Gausman pitching the AL East, tough. And then you had Clay Holmes, who was hurt. Comeback, I think it was against the Yankees. He hurt his leg. He was pitching against the Marlins that are, coming out of nowhere, doing really well this year. The Braves, which are pretty good, to the Cubs, which he's got a little bit of, I don't say cushion, but the Cardinals aren't super sexy. Unless you perfectly get Alec Burleson, unless you get, Weather Holt hitting very well. I don't know if they're going to bring up Baez. That could be another story because, he hit a lot of home runs, but that would be like mid-August. I'm not as concerned about the Cardinals as I am those other teams, so could be a little better landing spot for Mr. Clay Holmes. On the flip side, I really don't think it was a good change to go from Detroit to LA. Why not? You have the All-Stars around you. Right. But you're also playing, in my opinion, better teams. You now have to go to small little rinky-dink Sutter Health Park, and it's a little league field. Let's be real. Let's call it what it is. I love my athletics. Sutter Health Park is not a ball field. You could have a little bit of pressure from the Giants, the Gigantes. Devers, even the blind squirrel finds out sometimes. Jung-Ho Lee, it's a big ballpark, man. He's going to hit it, and he's fast, real fast, okay? You have Adames, who he ain't been doing great, but he can hit the ball a long way. So I'm not saying I'm worried. I'm just saying I don't think we're going to see the same Tariq Skubal. I don't think he's going to be a top 10 pitcher. Definitely won't be top 5. I think he's going to be a top 10 pitcher. Maybe top 10. It'll be like 9 or 10. But you know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to be as good as he has looked because he's not going to be expected, encouraged, pushed to go 7, 8 full game, 9 innings. He's going to pull the typical Dodgers pitcher. Go 5. You have Yamamoto who's trying to go 7 or 8, maybe full game, But otherwise, Glasnow, bad example, gets hurt a lot, but he hasn't gone 5 innings too many times, in the past, 2-3 years he's been with the Dodgers. You have Ohtani who might come back, but they don't need him to come back now because they have Blake Snell coming back. They also have Tariq Skubal now. They also have Chris Bubik whenever he comes back. So who knows if they're still going to need Eric Lauer. They already got rid of Emmett Sheehan. They have Bobby Miller in a rehab assignment. So there's so much happening there. I doubt we're going to see another full game, complete game from Tariq Skubal. However long he stays in the Dodgers organization, he won't have another full game, complete game. That's frustrating for people who like to see it. He's electric stuff. So, and he didn't have a good outing against the Cubs. So, come on, dog. Another bad move. Taylor Ward going to daggone Seattle. I think that's awful. Terrible move on his part. But they had to do something, the Orioles did. And I do think going west to east is a good move, especially with Heliot Ramos going to my Yankees. Happy about that. Wish we, could have picked up someone else, but it's fine. Nothing terrible. We still have someone at third, which is probably going to be Jazz Chisholm, because Heliot Ramos is going to be outfield, new addition, and Mr. Luis Garcia is going to be second. So that'll be, or he could play first. I don't know. That push Goldschmidt out and this guy named Ben Rice. So I don't think it's going to happen. The last thing we want to talk about in their unloading has to be the freaking Mets. They got rid of Luke Weaver, shipped him out. Got rid of Freddie Peralta, who did really poorly in his first start with the Rays. Bro, you go from Milwaukee, you're great, which you still have a high whip. Then with the Queens, you're like forgetting how to pitch, barely going 4 or 5 innings. Now you get throttled by the Rockies, which the Rockies are good. Like, they have good hitters, but Freddie, what happened, brother? Then you also get rid of Clay Holmes. I mean, have you given up? Have you? I mean, it makes sense for you to have given up, but I don't know, man. I just think that's funny. They spend so much money. They're like, oh, we are the team in New York. No, you ain't. No, you ain't. But that's going to be it for that, recap for the trades. Now let's get to the people I think you should add. Jeff Hoffman. I think he's going to be the closer there. If you're looking at saves, if you're looking at whip, if you're looking at holds, if you're looking at strikeouts, Luke Weaver for the Pirates. Mason Montgomery is also another guy in that bullpen for the Pirates. Holy cow. He has 72 strikeouts and 46 innings pitched. Yikes. That is wild that no one is paying attention to him except me. I saw that the other day and was like, whoa, you're doing some work. Hitters you should add. If he's available, Helio Ramos, pick him up. And we just literally talking about the Giants. Pick Helio Ramos up. He's got short porch out in left field with the Yankees. Let's get that man some more bombs, right? Wrapping it up, if you're in a keeper league, pick up catcher Samuel Basallo for the Orioles. They got rid of Adley Rutschman. They are giving up on him. So Basallo is going to be the guy. Yes, they might have, X, Y, or Z person, for now because he's hurt, but he's going to be the guy. If you're in a keeper league, see what you can do for him because he's pretty good, okay? He's very young, and he's only going to get better. Also, keeper league, see if you can grab the man, the myth, the legend, keeping with the Orioles, Mr. Felix Bautista. He is pitching simulated games, pitching live hitters. He's going to be back eventually. They're probably not going to push him because there's no point for them to push him right now. But he was one of the best pitchers in the game. The Big Cat was one of the best relievers in the game a few years ago. If he's going to be back, Ryan Helsley's gone for a while. Felix Bautista, Big Cat, is going to be the man to pick up. And I'm also going to tell you, look at the Nationals. I don't know how long Connerly Early is going to be gone, but he could be someone that does really well for them because he got rid of Griffin Foster or Foster Griffin, whichever one it is. Got rid of Curtis Mead too, and they're really going to miss him. But the Red Sox got him and then he got hurt. That's kind of funny. I mean, not for Mead, but for the Red Sox. So yeah, that's going to be it. That's it for the recaps. It for the trades and it for the people that you should add. I know it was kind of crazy. I know it was hectic, but I appreciate you bearing with me. I'll get this out late. This is JK Carroll. Thank you for sharing part of your day with me.